Good morning. The 141st Annual Commencement Exercises at Lake Forest College will now come to order. We thank you, family, friends, and guests, for joining us today as we celebrate the successful completion by the class of 2019 of their academic program. To begin, the invocation will be given by the Reverend Luke Back of the Church of the Holy Spirit of Lake Forest. Please rise for the invocation.
E. Cummings began an amazing poem with these words: I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees, and a blue, true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. Let us thankfully bow our heads and lower our brains to one, natural, infinite, and yes. Most for this amazing day that has finally arrived after 13 billion years of grace and labor. Thankful for graduates leaping greenly, going forth into fresh endeavors. Thankful for sky blue and true dreams of parents and grandparents, especially mothers, now seeing their young chicks take to the skies. Thankful for numerous professors, teachers, administrators, and staff, often called upon to be supernatural nurturers. Thankful for everything that has been raised up from the no of nothing, so we could enjoy being here together this remarkable morning. Thank you, God, most for this amazing day. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Back. It is now the custom of the college to recognize individuals who have distinguished themselves by their words and deeds. Our form of recognition is the conferring of honorary degrees, and those whom we honor today bring us honor by joining us for this important occasion. I now call upon Mr. Robert Krebs, Chairman of our Board of Trustees, to present the candidates for honorary degrees on behalf of the entire board.
Mr. President, it is my privilege to present Joseph M. Ferguson for the honorary degree Doctor of Laws.
That's great. Thanks. Joseph M. Ferguson, Lake Forest College graduate of the class of 1981, distinguished lawyer, and paragon of public integrity. Your alma mater is privileged and proud to honor you this morning. A Boston area native, you traveled west to begin college on our campus in the fall of 1977. Over the next 4 years, you studied history, political science, economics, and other subjects still. Your advisor, Emeritus Professor of History, Michael Ebner, remembers you clearly as a serious student, and in his words, quote, Joe always had his own take and tucked into a pocket of his mind evidence that no other student had found. It often turned the whole tenor of a class discussion around. After college, you went to law school at Northwestern, then spent 15 years with the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Illinois. There you served as chief of the Money Laundering and Forfeiture Section and deputy in the Complex Fraud and Financial Crime Section. Your work included major cases involving public corruption, healthcare fraud, labor racketeering, terrorism, and violent crime. In 2009, you were appointed Inspector General for the City of Chicago, and you are now in your third term in that high-profile role. Under your strong leadership, the Office of Inspector General has become nationally recognized as a leading municipal oversight agency. Resolutely focused on good government and the elimination of public corruption, you have led numerous investigations of city agencies and officials. You co-chaired the recent Chicago Procurement Reform Task Force that recommended major improvements in public contracting, and you were an influential member of Chicago's Police Accountability Task Force. As Inspector General, you maintain a prominent public profile and are frequently in the news. 3 recent headlines are mere examples. Here's one. Chicago's Inspector General finds the city's gang database is riddled with errors. Another. City watchdog says Chicago library system has not fixed its staffing flaws. And a third. State worker resigns after watchdog uncovers racist emails. Reflecting on this, you have said, and I quote you, that being in the public eye is a necessary part of being an Inspector General. Neither transparency nor improvements to government can be achieved unless my office and its work are public-facing. Lauded for your pursuit of investigations to root out waste or corruption, you've been honored by Columbia University Law School as a profile in public integrity. At Lake Forest College, we are privileged to have you teach a seminar on security and liberty, and you also lecture at Loyola University School of Law. Joe Ferguson, we are proud to welcome you to this commencement and to award you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and admit you to all the rights and privileges appertaining thereunto. Congratulations.
Mr. President, it is my privilege to present Dory McWhirter for the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Dory McWhirter, innovative leader, public citizen, and inspirational CEO of the YWCA of Metropolitan Chicago. Lake Forest College is honored to welcome you to this commencement ceremony. Born in Englewood and raised in Racine, Wisconsin, you recently told the online media platform The Glue that you have always felt a deep concern for the welfare of others. As a young child, in fact, you wrote a letter asking Santa, and I'm quoting, to make everyone alive be okay. Talented in mathematics, you decided in your teens that a logical goal would be for you to become an accountant. You proceeded to earn a bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, an MBA from Northwestern's Kellogg School, and a CPA license. You went to work and rose over time to become a partner in the national accounting firm of Crowe Horwath. As The Glue observed, however, you are an outgoing people person and you love to have fun. Friends found it difficult early on to reconcile your gregarious personality and flair for fashion with a stereotypical image of a buttoned-up accountant. A friend who knows you well, in fact, has revealed that your favorite fictional character is Wonder Woman, and your office displays a Wonder Woman cape, wall art, and a Doria's Wonder Woman caricature. All during your years of high-profile practice as a successful CPA, your inner superhero must have been waiting for the right time to break out, the right opportunity for you to act on your childhood hope to make everyone alive okay. That opportunity came in 2013. Appointed Chief Executive Officer of the Metropolitan Chicago YWCA, you immediately embraced the wise imperatives of empowering women and ensuring their freedom from violence, protection against racism, access to quality education and training, and economic stability. Under your strong, dedicated leadership, the YWCA has advanced dramatically over the past 6 years. You clearly understood and regularly emphasized that the YWCA must leave the past behind and adjust its programs for the present and the future in order to remain a leading social service organization. Motivated by your vision, your initiatives include digital programs that develop STEM awareness in adolescent girls, provide information about health insurance options to those who need them, encourage digital diversity, and attract new forms of support for the YWCA. In recognition of your leadership, the Chicago Tribune's Blue Sky Innovation Project has lauded you as one of Chicago's 100 top innovators, and Good City Chicago has given you its Innovative Leader Award. Your dedication to others, especially those marginalized, is inspirational, as is your imaginative search for new, effective ways to provide the services people need. Now that your superhero identity is visible for all to see, please keep pushing forward. The YWCA and all of us will be your beneficiaries. Dory McWhorter, it is a privilege for Lake Forest College to award you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and admit you to all the rights and privileges appertaining thereunto. Congratulations.
Mr. President, it is my privilege to present Dr. Bridget C. Coughlin for the honorary degree Doctor of Science.
Dr. Bridget Coughlin, scientist, educator, president, and CEO of the Shedd Aquarium, one of the world's leading aquatic conservation and educational organizations. Lake Forest College is honored to welcome you today. A Colorado native, you came to Illinois to attend Knox College, one of our sister schools in the Associated Colleges of the Midwest. A varsity soccer player, you started out as a theater student, but changed your major to biochemistry and spent an off-campus term at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, where you participated in an early phase of the Human Genome Project. After graduating from Knox, you earned a PhD in biochemistry from the University of Iowa, where you studied infectious parasitic diseases and how they can evade the human immune system. As a doctoral student, you became adept at communicating complex scientific ideas to the general public and civic leaders, a skill that serves you well today. After receiving your PhD, you became the managing editor of the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences and worked at the Academy on high-profile policy reports on topics such as emerging infectious diseases and the safety of silicone breast implants. Recruited to join the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, you were appointed its Vice President of Strategic Partnerships and Programs and also as an adjunct curator. There you held a myriad of responsibilities, including development of the highly praised NIH-funded Genetics of Taste Lab. 3 years ago, in 2016, you came back to Illinois from Colorado in order to become the Shedd's president and CEO. Thanks to your strong leadership, 2 million guests now visit the shed every year and experience its innovative aquarium exhibits. You and shed colleagues help your visitors, including many in our audience today, learn about the aquatic animal world, the serious challenges it faces, and the steps we need to take to safeguard and preserve it. You do this within the shed's walls and beyond them as well, through many forms of community outreach. A founding member of the Aquarium Conservation Partnership, you have played a leadership role in its efforts to reduce global plastic waste and advance protection of marine sanctuaries. You are also a leading member of the World Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and you belong to a number of Chicago's civic, philanthropic, and community organizations. With your husband and 3 sons, you enjoy, and I'm quoting, anything that takes you outside to nature. And a sports enthusiast, you enjoy games and contests of all kinds and are said to be a very tough competitor when playing one of your family's 100 different board games at home. Bridget C. Coughlin, it's a privilege for Lake Forest College to present you with a degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, and admit you to all the rights and privileges appertaining thereunto. It's my privilege now to present our commencement speaker, Dr. Bridget Coughlin.
What a very nice, warm introduction on a very chilly day. It is truly a joy to be here, although when President Scott said that I enjoy doing anything outside, I had not yet done a commencement speech at Ravinia in spring. It is an incredible honor to be invited to participate in a day as special as your graduation, and it is equally an honor to be part of such an incredible panel of honorees. Ms. McWhorter, the WYCA is better because of your positive, disruptive leadership, and Inspector General Ferguson, thank you for making the city of Chicago stronger, a city I have chosen to raise my 3 boys in, and a city I deeply believe in, so thank you for that. Thank you, faculty and staff. Thank you, President Scott, and a particular thank you to President of the Board of Lake Forest College, the chairman, excuse me, Rob Krebs. Rob, thank you for your friendship and thank you for the invitation to speak here. So I think before we go on any further, because there are birds singing, and because we're all wearing these hats for warmth, not ceremonial pomp and circumstance, we cannot proceed without a huge congratulations to the 360 members of Lake Forest College, class of 2019. Woo! You guys look great. And your families. Well done, families. You look great too. Today, I suspect will make the roster of singularly impactful hallmark days of your life. Now, as President Scott mentioned, I went to college a couple hundred miles southwest of here, a partner liberal arts school in Illinois, Knox College. But today that does not matter. For I am happily today an honorary forester, and I would like to immediately start evoking some of the privileges that have been recently bestowed onto me. And I will not leave Ravinia until I have a selfie with Boomer the bear. That was included, right? Okay. So, to be serious for a moment, I want to put something out there. And it's no secret, and it's often discussed. The cost of all these college degrees have gone up. In fact, tuition at colleges has gone up 1,000% in the last 40 years. And by contrast, the stock market went up 400% during that same time period. And now I am speaking with some degree of personal authority here, because I went to Knox College, and my brother went to Grinnell College in Iowa, and my sister went to Carleton College in Northfield, Minnesota, and my brave, bold parents just smiled and said they kept sending their children. We grew up in Colorado, by the way. We kept sending our children and our retirement savings disguised as tuition to the Midwest for a solid liberal arts education. Now, I think we should add a silent 3 cheers, by the way, for the incredible Lake Forest College staff that worked tirelessly to raise money for scholarships, secure financial aid, and make sure that student loans are right-sized. So we all recognize this. The cost of tuition has accelerated. The rate of change in the world has gone up exponentially. And here is the great news, and I believe it in my heart and in my DNA, that while it has gone up, so too has the value of the degree you are about to receive. Now, this is not for the faculty. The value of your degree is not so much in the content of your newly acquired knowledge, but rather richness into totally different things. Now, this is a commencement, and we will make a big deal about your major and your honors thesis and dean's list and overall academic credentials. And that is all very important. And yet I have found what trumps this after you leave campus is not what you learned, biochemistry or theater, political science or Renaissance literature, but rather with whom you have learned and how you have trained your mind in the habit of curious learning. I've certainly found this to be true at my time at Shedd Aquarium and as I embarked in my career. So first, let's explore the with whom you have had this great Lake Forest College journey. It was at my liberal arts college, of course, that I made some of the most deeply connected friendships I have today. So here's where you have to indulge me for a minute. Look to your left, look to your right. Permission to look around a few rows up, a few rows back. Make eye contact with those you have built inside jokes and shared secrets. I hear the teetering of laughter. These friendships, these with whom you are sitting today, shivering, clad together, looking a little bit like Darth Vader in your black robes, have meant a lot to you. And these friendships will be with you, along by your side, long after you leave campus. Now, I'm not naive. Not everyone is going to be a lifelong friend. Some may simply pop up now and again on your social media to congratulate you on a new job, retweet your meme, or be your 1,000th like of an amusing picture you post of yourself. But others with you today will be with you through future impactful Hallmark days well beyond this one. More impactful days like when you marry your best friend, the birth or adoption of your children, your first career promotion, your first job, the publication of your first novel, your first home purchase. They will help you move into your 15th apartment. And they'll be at the end when you run your first marathon race. And these people who are sitting alongside you will be with you by your side when the tables turn and you are taking care of aging parents. When I landed the job as president and CEO at Shedd Aquarium 3 years ago, I called my husband first, my mom second, and my freshman roommate, Gabby, third. Now, it's not to say, in fact, I would never have predicted on my commencement day that that friendship with Gabby would have endured. But indeed, quality connections persist. And from what I saw when you were processing in, you have made deep quality connections at Lake Forest College. Quality connections that are more than a like after a post and cannot be replaced by an hour-long phone call now and again. Examining another with whom you have learned are your faculty, coaches, and student advisors. Reflect for a moment. Who is the professor who you meant to use their office hours but never quite got around to it? Who was the professor who you enjoyed so much you took every single one of their classes? Who was the coach or mentor who made you feel like you were Olympic bound when you knew in your heart of hearts you were more like Adam Sandler in Waterboy? And who, in turn, did you do this for? The people here from Lake Forest College thrived on your intellectual curiosity. Take that in for a minute. You fueled them. They relished your discoveries, and they supported you so you could flourish on your own. I hope for you. I hope you are so lucky as to find a future boss or mentor that does the same. Seek them out, and in turn be one. Parents and friends, back to you for a minute. The reason I said you all looked so good is, from what I can see, no one here looks too green in the gills from the emotional roller coaster that is assigned today. Today is a huge nexus in your child's life, another step into adulthood. And like the nexus of childbirth, someone is going to cry. You are all, graduates, look behind you. No, I'm not kidding, look behind you. Now look at the faculty. You have trained them well. They're always this. You're supposed to be independent thinkers, and you are all dressed the same. All of these people are the with whom you have learned. As you leave campus, surround yourself with good people. That is the bleeding obvious. But recognize that at Lake Forest College, in some ways they have been curated for you, and now you need to curate your own. With whom you choose to explore will make all the difference. Now here's a humbling lesson. In nature, fish have already figured this out. The modest pilchard fish, a little 4-inch silver beauty, is really mighty on its own. But the ocean is vast and complex. And so the pilchard fish makes its collective success by occasionally, not always, but occasionally focusing on each other. First, the pilchard fish continuously swim. They never stop moving. But they also ensure that they don't get too far or too close to the next pilchard fish. And this proximity effect, called emergence, creates a school of fish, not too close, not too far, and they can remain equidistant from one another, creating a massive swarm of fish that evades even the largest, fiercest predator. By choosing with whom they swim, they feel, and in fact, they are literally bigger than they are as individuals. It's a good, simple life lesson. If you keep moving and stick together, you will be bigger. You will be more. Now, let's talk about being curious. I'm curious about the noise behind me, but I'm just going to ignore it. One of you warn me if something's happening. Let's talk about being curious and the curious mind. Beyond the value of with whom is the value of training your mind to be curious. In all you have learned and experienced in college, curricular, in my case with genetics projects, or extracurricular with soccer and frisbee golf, it was the intracurricular learning in the white space that taught me, but trained me, and has helped me most in my career. Intracurricular learning is something that I believe you uniquely acquire in a degree from a liberal arts college. It could be the faculty-student ratios, where you can't hide as a student. It could be the intracurricular learning because you have to take classes well beyond your major. Now, it is no secret how diverse this class is. You come from 31 nations. You have enlisted in 33 different majors, and I was astonished to learn that you have participated in over 70 clubs and organizations, so I'm not entirely sure how you got any studying done. But for all your diversity, every single one of you that is about to walk across this stage to commence, from undergraduate to an alumnus, is actually not going to earn a degree, but in many ways, the same degree. A degree in what I call habitual curious learning. Not your BA or your BS, but your HCL. This type of curious learning is the healthy habit of keeping an open mind. You have gone through curiosity training over the last 4 or so years, and it is because of this curiosity training that you will add real value to a blue planet and the race that calls it home. You see, curious minds ask why. Why not? What if? Those are really simple questions, and we must ask them tenaciously. Ask them tenaciously to solve the world's current biggest challenges. By asking why not, what if, each conversation is an opportunity to scaffold off someone else's ideas and emotions. Now, I have dedicated my passion and my career to conservation of this blue planet. Third planet from the sun, 70% water, only 2.5% of it fresh water. By the way, if you think about it, if we humans would have first named our planet by looking backwards on it from space, we would have called it water, not Earth. Water is just that important. And our major fresh and saltwater systems are diverse and distinct and connected, and they are in peril. And so how can habitual curious learners help protect them? I think many of you know that we have lost 20 to 80% of our coral reefs. Coral reefs and the phytoplankton that thrive off them produce half the air we breathe. Think about it. Every other breath you take is brought to you by the ocean. If you do not want to save the coral reef, just breathe half as much and you will be fine, maybe. Curious minds, though, are asking why. Why do some coral reefs die and yet others persist when waters warm and oceans become acidic? Why is their DNA different? Curious minds ask, why not? Why not change international laws to secure new funding for coral restoration? And curious minds ask, what if? Imagine this, what if we work to repopulate aquatic coral animals, much like we have successfully repopulated terrestrial trees in a forest after a disaster? Curious minds will save and restore our oceans. And these are enormous challenges. Curious learners continuously iterate solutions, though, against complex problems, and a real solution that might seem so overwhelming, is possible through curiosity. Here's another humbling thing. We humans with liberal arts degrees are not the only curious seekers on our planet. There are many examples in nature, and by now you figured out that I'm kind of stuck on marine life. Even in known and familiar environments, the octopus will continue to explore. They continue to taste the environment with the chemoreceptors on their 8 arms. An octopus is never, ever satisfied with the familiar. They seek out and explore continually new ways to interpret their environment. Okay, so now, before hypothermia sets in, let's give you those degrees. Yes. In closing, please register this. With your Lake Forest degree in hand, love from friends and family in your heart, and an open and curious mind, be like the octopus. Never be satisfied with the familiar. Lake Forest College has become the familiar, and it's time to celebrate that, but move on. And because you are leaving college today, don't leave your special talent of learning in the white space and being a curious person. And be like the pilchard fish, and remember to keep moving, or as I overheard one parent, get moving and get a job. But like the pilchard fish, remember to keep moving, keep driving for solutions, and keep together. You will actually be and look bigger than you are. Thank you so much, and congratulations to the class of 2019 for your degrees in habitual, curious learning. Well done.
Thank you very much, Dr. Coughlin, for those inspirational words. What's next is the recognition of a member of our faculty through the Trustee Award for Teaching Excellence in Campus Leadership. The trustees of the college have established this award to honor a faculty member whose teaching has been recognized as excellent and who has made significant contributions to the life of the college community. I'm very pleased to present this year's award to Professor of Psychology Matt Kelly, whom I now ask to join me at the podium. Professor Matt Kelly earned his bachelor's degree in psychology at the University of Wisconsin-Parkside. He followed this with a master's degree and doctorate in cognitive psychology at Purdue University. Before coming to Lake Forest, he served as a postdoctoral fellow in developmental neuropsychology at the University of Louisville. Over the past 17 years, he has made an outstanding impact on our campus as a dedicated teacher, collaborative researcher, and engaged campus citizen. He has taught numerous courses, including Introduction to Psychology, Research Methods and Statistics, Cognitive Psychology, and Learning and Memory. Professor Kelly has also taught many times in our first-year studies program, offering his ever-popular course, Robots and Brains, Facts and Fantasies. On Chicago Day, in fact, students in this class build robots at the college's In the Loop location downtown. This experience remains for his students a touchstone and a reminder of what they love most about the college. In Matt Kelly's classes, learning is as fun as it is informative. Professor Kelly currently chairs both psychology and neuroscience and has served the college in a long list of committee capacities: the Academic Resources and Review Committee, College Council, the Faculty Policies and Personnel Committee, and still others. A researcher of note, he focuses on memory, and it's easy to remember this fact. This year marked the publication of his 30th paper, co-authored with students. This paper, published in the Quarterly Journal of Experimental Psychology, shows that while hints often hurt memory on standard recall tests, certain types of hints are more disruptive than others. Under Professor Kelly's tutelage, students were involved in every aspect of this study, from the formulation of the research questions and experiment design to data collection and writing the article. In his long research career, he has helped 31 students at the college become published authors. It's no surprise that his students praise his classroom teaching with exuberance. One says, "I love Professor Kelly. He's the most engaging professor I've ever had." Another, "This class was my favorite class. The information was intriguing and presented in a way that made it relatable to the real world." And finally, "Professor Kelly made me love science, which I didn't think any teacher could ever do." Professor Kelly has made lasting contributions to the college and our students. He is thoughtful and measured. When he speaks, he does so with conviction from his heart. He well represents what our trustees had in mind in creating this award, an outstanding teacher who has made remarkable contributions to our campus community. It's my great pleasure and privilege to present Matt Kelly with the 2019 Trustee Award for Teaching Excellence and Campus Leadership. I now call upon Andrea Connor, Vice President of Student Affairs and Dean of Students, to introduce the senior class speaker.
senior class speaker is Emily Stauffer. Emily is graduating today with a major in biology and a minor in environmental studies. After graduation, she will work for the Cleveland Metro Parks as a naturalist. Emily, please join me on the platform.
Thank you, President Scott, distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, guests, faculty, staff, family, friends, and of course, my fellow class of 2019, for giving me the honor of speaking here today. Let me set the scene for you. It's the fall semester of my sophomore year, and I've recently decided I want to be a biology major. A move that shocked those who knew me in high school, considering I never once paid attention in any science class. This was something I was majorly coming to regret about 10 minutes into my first organismal biology class. My professor asked us all to write our name and hometown on a note card, like you do at the beginning of every class, every semester. But we were also asked to write down something that we were excited to learn. I wrote down, I have no idea what I'm doing here, and so I don't know. So I was off to a really confident start. But I had a feeling, deep down, below a solid layer of panic, that maybe I could be good at this new thing. I just needed to step out of my comfort zone. I want to introduce the concept of the learning zone model, and the idea is really basic. You have your comfort zone, the area where you feel most safe and familiar. This is like when you walk into the cafe in the morning and you know that Tracy's going to be there to say hey, and Ruben's going to know exactly what you want in your omelet. Outside of this is your learning zone, the area where you can grow. This can be academic growth, like taking a class in a new subject, or it can be more social, like letting your friends drag you to the ACP even though you don't quite get the theme and you're a little traumatized from that one time with the paint. And outside of this is your panic zone. You cannot learn here because all of your energy is going into getting yourself back into your comfort zone. This is when you look down at your exam and wonder for a second if maybe you're in the wrong class because you've definitely never learned this before. These are feelings that we're all familiar with in many different ways all throughout life. It changes in between individuals and even between different days and situations. But it's important to remember that these zones and their boundaries are a choice. We all have to contend with the choice to move out of our comfort zone and into our learning zone. These choices can be small, like sitting in a new spot in the lib, or taking a class with a professor that you've never had before and can't find anything about on Rate My Professor. And some of these choices are big, requiring a deep breath and a blind leap of faith. Choices like changing your major to follow a newfound passion, or taking on a new leadership position, or studying abroad, whether that's all the way in New Zealand or all the way in Chicago. Each of these choices count, big or small. They all serve to expand your comfort zone. What was once a learning opportunity becomes a comfortable activity, and slowly but surely, you gain confidence and experience. While the choice to take the step is yours, you can let others in to help make it easier. Our friends, families, peers, and professors are all at different places within these zones. Something that's intimidating to you might not be so much for someone else. And they can help push against your panic zone. And you can do this for others. You do this when you help a freshman figure out how they can make their schedule work without having to take any classes on Friday. And you do this when you text the family group chat and reassure your parents that yes, you're studying. No, you're definitely not going to the beach after dark or staying up until 3 a.m. Don't worry, Mom and Dad, not me. It's important to remember that while we experience these zones individually, Our responses are a collaborative effort. Sitting in that first biology class, I was terrified and definitely felt like I was tipping into my panic zone. But I was determined to make it work and make it a chance to learn. And I found that people around me who felt comfortable wanted to help me embrace this new choice, even if I was uncertain about how it would play out. It was fine, clearly. Fellow class of 2019, after we graduate today, we will be confronted with choices, some familiar and some entirely new. No matter how you're moving forth, the border of the panic zone may feel just a little too close for comfort. I implore you to stay steady and avoid allowing fear to stop you from trying. And after time, when you feel as though you've been idle in the comfort zone for a while, I hope you move forward and expand your walls and your horizons and continue to learn and grow in every way, big and small. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Thank you very much, Emily, for those terrific words, an inspirational message. And I want to encourage anybody whose toes are freezing to move your legs around or jump up or do anything you need to do for a minute, because we are just about to start our conferral of degrees. The candidates for the master's degree will be presented by Dr. Davis Schneiderman, Krebs Provost and Dean of the Faculty. Diplomas will be presented by Mr. Robert Krebs, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, and he will be assisted by Mr. B.J. White, Registrar of the College.
Will the candidates who have completed the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching please stand? Will the candidates who have completed the requirement for the degree of Master of Liberal Studies also please stand? Mr. President, the students standing before you are candidates for the degree of Masters of Arts in Teaching and Master of Liberal Studies, respectively. They have completed the requirements prescribed by the faculty of the college. It is our recommendation that their respective degrees be conferred upon them.
Thank you, Dean Schneiderman. By the authority of the state of Illinois, given to the trustees of Lake Forest College and entrusted by them to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching and Master of Liberal Studies, as the case may be, together with all the rights and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. I invite you to join us on the platform.
Bridget Aimee Debouze de Guia. Leah Rose Drennan. Rebecca Bianca Rosa Hernandez. Natalie Ibarra Torres. Allison Kimberly Meyer. David Kenji Velasco. Natalie Rachel Bober. Bridget Ann Halloran. Ronald Thaddeus Mrois II.
Congratulations. And now, class of 2019. Candidates for the bachelor's degree will be presented by Dr. David Schneiderman, Krebs Provost and Dean of the Faculty. Before he does so, though, I would like to take a moment to recognize the graduating seniors today who are the first members of your families to complete a college education. Would all seniors who are the first in your families to graduate from college please stand and be recognized?
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree please rise? Mr. President, the students who are standing before you are candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. They have completed or will complete presently the academic requirements prescribed by the faculty of the college. It is the recommendation of the faculty that this degree be conferred upon each of them.
Members of the class of 2019, by the authority of the state of Illinois, given to the trustees of Lake Forest College and entrusted by them to me, I hereby confer upon you who have completed the requirements the degree of Bachelor of Arts, together with all the rights and responsibilities appertaining thereunto.
Candidates, please be seated until your row is called to the platform. Paloma Albaron, cum laude. Tariq Aldas. Vito Aluya. Raul Andrade. Alexa Andrews. Michael James Aronson. Joel Aretha. George Argyropoulos, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Philip Gaston Aubert, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Catherine Auger Morin, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Amalia Aslan Berkeley, cum laude. Stephanie Yasmin Baca. Susan K. Baca, cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Bacon, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Jacob Badagliaco, cum laude. Haley Joan Bader, magna cum laude. Beenam Basrasharia, cum laude. Alexander Balizato, magna cum laude. Audra Melina Barella. Samuel McLaurin Barton. Chad Bouchon. Amy Becker, summa cum laude. Mary Becker, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Corey Anthony Beckford White. Andrew Bashid, cum laude. Casey Benson, cum laude. Sinait Berha. Maya Beville. Robert Bigalski, cum laude. Patrick Bewald, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Richard Biggio Gotchlick. Bridget Bielick. Matthew Black, cum laude. Griffin Bleeker. Paige Bobus, cum laude. Sarah Boomgarden, cum laude. Arnold Boros. Daria Edil Botsala. Carson Robert Bottensek. Maria Eleni Buzarelos Kapta. Joseph W. Bove. Taylor Brando. Taya Simone Brent. Cade Stephen Rezo Britton, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Vito Giuseppe Brunetti. Alexa Victoria Bruni, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Michael Boabing. Amy Jacqueline Buddy. Daniel Burton. Paris Louise Burton, cum laude. Diana E. Caballero. Danielle Cabezas Sola, cum laude. Isabel Mary Cadero, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Claudia Marcela Cajillo Garcia. Emma Claire Carlson. David A. Carrillo. Jennifer Cervantes, magna cum laude. Cameron D. Chamberlain. Diane Charmaine Chung. Lindsay R. Chardelli. Edward Jagan Cleary, cum laude. Lindsay A. Cohen, magna cum laude. Sophia Deborah Claire Michelson Cohn. Janae D. Collier. Kevin Anthony Collins. Austin J. Kahn. Charles Grant Connor. Abby Cooper. Bethany C. Cox. Chase Andrew Creviston. Samuel Dawson Curry, magna cum laude. Matos Svickel. Shannon Marie Dacey, magna cum laude. Annika Daly. Emmett Donahue. Zoe Darlington, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Imani Davis. Kaylee Day. Louis Philip Gaston III de Courcy, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Lourdes de Jesus. Rebecca Ann Sanchez de Movelin. Susanna Rose Delagine. Olivia Tao Dello Moderme, magna cum laude. Elza Demiri. Charlie Deaver, cum laude. Myra Diaz, cum laude. Dakota Timothy Dakar. Nicholas Edlund. Christopher Edamwande. Tero Elias Latasso. Elizabeth Elliott. Mackenzie Elizabeth Ellis. Nuha Azori, cum laude. Anna Faber. Carl Fain. Lutza Ferenc, cum laude. Cindy Figueroa. Carla Paola Figueroa. Emily Fink. Kendra Faubert, cum laude. Philip Alexander Freund, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Thomas Peter Gallinopoulos. Yuan Ganev, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Christina Gimundo, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Salvador Gloria Jr., cum laude. Emily J. Godoy. Becky Andrea Goldberg. Sonia Teresa Gomez. Alida A. Gonzalez, cum laude. Emily Gabrielle Gordon, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Jessica Lynn Grimes, cum laude. Jenjing Gu, cum laude. Carolina Guadarrama Ramos, cum laude. Anaite Jane Guanhardo. Cody Gadorzi. John Gupinar. Ashley Gunderson. Olga Gutan, magna cum laude. Ryan Matthew Haas. Savannah Ray Halcomb. Brandon Lee Halleck, magna cum laude. John Williams Hanna. Nicole Hedger. Eric Kinder Heidenreich. Johanna Hendrickson, cum laude. Christian Aristides Henriquez Alas. Hannah Gabrielle Heredia. David J. Hernandez. Hannah C. Highland, cum laude. Parker A. Hill. Emma L. Hurt, cum laude. Bruce Garrett Holtman. Zhejian Hong. Bailey Elizabeth Hoyt. Riley Peyton Hughes. Zanob Fatima Hussein. Elvin Husaitovich. Peter George Iliopoulos. Alexei Ilyuk. Ridwan Ismail, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Charlotte Jackson. Grace Fox Jacobson, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Megan Susan Janda. Michael Adam Jasko. Dean Arthur Jepson, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Katrina Marie Johnson. Melissa Haley Kahn, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Rachel Kaplan, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Ryan Michael Kalekian. Aisha Muhammad Khalil, cum laude. Michelle Keeler. Abigail L. King, cum laude. Sophia Elizabeth Klong, cum laude. Diana Kopek. Amar Korach. Casey L. Kraus. Ryan Kruss, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Justina H. Kubek. Alton Kukai. Margot Leclerc, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Madison Lapidus. Courtney Lynn Larson. Grace C. Larson. Samia Zuhair Latif. Mary Scott Lee, cum laude. Miwa Afia Lee, cum laude. Sang Myong Lee. Catherine Ann Lentz, cum laude. Roger N. Levy. Lanjong Liu, cum laude. Braun Loisel, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Daisy Lopez. Morgan Taylor Loxley, cum laude. Anissa L. Loyola. Elizabeth M. Ludoweiss, cum laude. Molly Lee Major, cum laude. Morgan Kitts Malty, cum laude. Kaylin Mancia. Nabosha Markovich, cum laude. Andrew W. Martinez. Hamid Ihsan Masood. Julia Quinn Matischek. Julianne Moriello, magna cum laude. Trenton McCarthy, cum laude. Luke James McDermott, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Jean-Marie Sean McDonald, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Cam McGuire. Reese Gavin McIntyre. Isabel Ray McKenzie, cum laude. Fiona McMahon, magna cum laude. Luke Mead. Jack Andrew Malanik. Carly Bell Mitchell. Jocelyn A. Montejo. Alishka Mrachkova, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Emily Merman, cum laude. Chisomo Nyamkua Mwale, magna cum laude. Paulina Moisiga Baregu, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Akila Newman. Aaliyah Newman. Casey Nam. Alexis Christensen Nugalich, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Catherine Nolte, cum laude. Abby J. Novak. John Joseph Nugent. Courtney A. Oates. Asimwe Kojo Oben Nyarku. Alexandra O'Brien, cum laude. Anne Catherine O'Daney. Hannah O'Day, cum laude. Philip Kweku Amaning Ofosu Ama, cum laude. Heath Ogawa. Glenn Carl Oman, magna cum laude. Olivia J. Oman. Danielle Diano Schlager, cum laude. Isaac Josue Ordonez Ortiz. Guadalupe Ornelas. Alexander M. Orr. Noel Orwuthwan, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Carter Patrick Ostrander, magna cum laude. Lillian Peterson. Clarice M. Pelaez. Amanda Nicole Penn Francis, magna cum laude. Larissa Daisy Pentland, magna cum laude. Kimberly I. Perez, cum laude. Sindel P.E. Perkins Pruitt. Nathaniel Pettengill, cum laude. Kiana Chanel Porter. Mary Elliott Porter. Courtney Praise, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. William Kiefer Price. James Pruitt. Nicola Sage Purcell. Rachel R. Pergerson. Aisha Korishi, magna cum laude. Kristen A. Rawlings, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Gabriella Marie Reed. Blake Austin Rhodes. Miguel A. Riva Jr. Daniel Robert Robles, cum laude. Marty Rosen. Jenna Lee Rotuno, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Courtney C. Rushala. Susan M. Ryan, cum laude. Brian Salto. Sydney Alyssa Salvador, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Cole Thomas Sampson. Abigail Samuelson, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Rodrigo A. Sanchez. Anna Sandler, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Aurora Santos Santiago, cum laude. Dominique M. Sarabia. Brian Sargent. Natalia A. Satala. Paulina Shedreneta. Richard Schmidt. Brianna Shulo. Jacob Sherman. Kira Elizabeth Schweiger, cum laude. Christopher David Scroggins, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Lauren Elizabeth Sears. Ryan Brittany Shanker, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Lillian Grace Shahadi. Ethan Shire. Bianca Shea Schaffner. Rebecca Jean Schwab, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Andrew Schwecke. Patrick Shemian. Jabulani Junior Safunza. Artura Simenas cum laude. Robert Shimovich cum laude. Beatrice J. Skeffington Palmieri cum laude. James Matthew Smith. Rhiannon Irene Smith cum laude. Naomi Malu Solano. Daniel James Sotos. Lucille C. Stahl. Emily Dawn Stauffer, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Kayla Renee Stein. Tiffany M. Stewie. Kennedy Strombeck. Hafsa Sultana, cum laude. Danielle Jenna Sykowski, cum laude. Benjamin Taylor. Ralph Joe Taylor III, cum laude. Jonathan Malik Teffel. Moyosure Taiwo Tejemola, magna cum laude. Alexandra Rita Tenuta. Huizione Pearl Tebe. T. Anthony Thompson. Charlie Timmerman. Catherine Torres. Victoria Torres Garcia. Nelma Liliana Fernandez da Trindada, cum laude. Jacob Maurice Troy. Brian A. Valerio, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Jorge Arturo Villanova. Kofivi Vonar. Zachary Elias Wade, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Samantha Weiss. Mason James Wallace. Tubanji Walobita, magna cum laude. Jingling Helen Wang. Ethan Hardwick Webster. Frederick J. Weichman III. Mateusz Wichitek. Kayleen Sophia Williamson, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Alphonse Wilson. Anastasia Echo Ren, cum laude. Quentin Wonder. Yumi Yasumoto. Yasin Yunus. Yin Yu. Alma Zahirovic. Michelle Brittany Zaxon. Connor P. Zafiro. Ramune Jantakaite. Carla P. Shagui, cum laude. Ryan Randall Cal Zunker, cum laude. Justina Justinsky. That's it?
I'd like to ask the graduates to stand, please. Members of the class of 2019, you may now move your tassel from the right to the left. This signifies the awarding of your degree. Faculty, staff, friends, and family, I present to you the class of 2019. I would like to ask the graduates to acknowledge with a round of applause the support that you have received from your family, friends, and mentors. Graduates, you can be seated.
Thank you, Dean Connor. Before we conclude today's ceremony with the singing of the alma mater and the benediction, let me make one reminder. We've moved through this expeditiously, and so it's now about 12:15 or 12:20, so there's plenty of time to continue to enjoy the occasion after we disperse. But I do want to remind everyone that the parking lot here closes at 2 o'clock. So that's about an hour and 40 minutes from now. Please be sure to remove your car before the parking lot is locked for the weekend, or come back and get it on Monday. Following the alma mater, please remain standing for the benediction. At the conclusion of the ceremony, please stay seated until the graduates and faculty have recessed. The singing of the alma mater will be led by Alexa Andrews, a member of the class of 2019, who's graduating with a double major in music education and education. After graduation, Alexa plans to return to the college for one more year to complete her Master of Arts in Teaching. Alexa, please come forward and lead us in the alma mater. Will the audience please stand?
That was very beautiful. E. Cummings concluded his poem. Now the ears of my ears awake, and now the eyes of my eyes are opened. You should not leave Lake Forest College satisfied that you have learned the truth, but rather you leave with ears taught to listen and eyes taught to see even greater, higher and deeper possibilities that await in the unknown. May you be awake through the resources of your human nature, be alive and okay in the powers of heaven and spirits of earth, light of sun, warmth of heat, radiance of moon and thoughtfulness of mind, splendor of fire and brightness of soul, speed of lightning and tenderness of feelings, swiftness of wind and fullness of breath. Be firm as rock in a great lake's storm. Be light as gull, surpassing all misunderstandings with softness of heart. Spring lively from this place, graduates. Plant the seeds generated here and bless the earth and the sea. Blossom wherever you yourself are planted. And may you be blessed with the most amazing days. Amen.